Well, hello from Horseshoe Valley, Ontario, about an hour and a half north of Toronto. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's time for Tuesday at 2, where I, as an executive career management practitioner, each week share my knowledge so that you, the viewer, can benefit from my knowledge on how to manage your career. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. British Standard Time, and 8 p.m. in Europe. I know I have clients in all those time zones and beyond. Thanks for listening. Sorry, I haven't been here for the last 2 weeks, but I've had some medical issues I needed to deal with. Much better now, and ready to help you manage your career. So my name is Martin Buckland, and I am an executive career management practitioner. So I manage and advance the careers of senior executives, those who aspire to be business leaders, executive master of business administration, so EMBAs, and I'm also considered a global expert in mining from top to bottom. So today's topic is very interesting. It's very close to my heart. I call myself a self-proclaimed LinkedIn junkie. So we're going to be talking about why LinkedIn. But please feel free to make comments, ask questions. I'm more than happy. Doesn't just doesn't have to be on LinkedIn. It can be on any topic relating to your career. Perhaps you're stumbling, perhaps you're frightened, or you don't know how to do this or how to do that. Please ask some questions in the question box below. I am here for you to share my knowledge on executive career management, and come back next week on Tuesdays at 2 as well. So LinkedIn. Now, I place a lot of emphasis, and so do other people in my business and executive recruiters and HR professionals, on LinkedIn. My philosophy, and it's tough, I say it as it is, if you aren't on LinkedIn, you are committing career suicide. Is that powerful or what? But it's very true. It's very realistic. If you aren't on LinkedIn, you are committing career suicide. The chances of you being found, if they're looking for talent like you with your unique skill set, and everybody is unique, and you need to market yourself as unique, will be severely decreased if you aren't on LinkedIn. Now, I've got many other videos on my YouTube channel talking about LinkedIn, and I've also done many previous Tuesdays at 2. This is the 54th Tuesdays at 2. So, and I will be doing some more talking about LinkedIn, but I can't cover it all, so it deserves, because it's so important to you as a career, as somebody wanting to advance their career, that you need to embrace LinkedIn. So go and look on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press that bell button, where you will be notified of future videos. And I'm just writing a ton more scripts for a ton more future videos coming up in the next couple of months. If you aren't on LinkedIn, you are committing career suicide. Think about that. That's pretty tough. That's very overt, but it's very true, very realistic. It's an important, a crucial tool for you. Doesn't matter where you are in your career, whether you're starting off or whether you're a C-suite leader, and anywhere in between. It's for an important tool for you to sell yourself, for research, extensive research into companies. It's a chance for you to network. And those who've listened to me before, I am also a fierce networker, no holds barred. You need to network. And LinkedIn is a perfect tool, especially during COVID, to network with other people who can bring you, the viewer, a lot of influence and possibly generate leads. It's also a platform for branding. So let's just go back and talk about that again. It's an important tool. It's for you to sell. It's for you to research. It's for you to network and brand yourself. There are videos on my YouTube channel, and I've done previous Tuesdays at 2 talking about personal branding. It's also the platform for you to gain traction, gain visibility with key decision makers who could call you in for an interview or call you for a Zoom or a Teams or a WebEx interview right now. Although hopefully in-person interviews will come back very soon. So it's a chance for you to gain exposure to human resource professionals and executive recruiters. Executive recruiters, when they have a project and they're looking for a particular talent, they use LinkedIn extensively. They have another particular version of LinkedIn which they use, and it's a more detailed version of the ones that you and I have got. But you need to be on LinkedIn. I express it too much. I'm passionate. I'm committed to you being on LinkedIn. Please ask those questions. Anybody got any questions? I'm more than happy to answer them, not just necessarily on LinkedIn, but talking about career management, resumes, CVs, personal branding, job search, or anything else. So executive recruiters and HR professionals use this to search for talent. So you need to have your LinkedIn profile fully complete. Don't have what I call the skeleton, the bare necessities to fill it in. You need to put all the text in, and each section has their own number of characters. So you need to fill those characters. The more text you put in, the more Google will pick you up and the more traction you're going to get. It's simple. Spend some time filling in your LinkedIn. It's also a platform for you to demonstrate your knowledge, your leadership, show your credibility. Hopefully, you have a lot of credibility in your industry. You could be a leader in your industry. This is a chance for you to articulate that on a platform with 750 million other members. You never know who will be looking for you right now. You'd be surprised. There are tons and tons of people looking for your talent right now. And if you don't have that fully complete LinkedIn profile, your chances of being found will be lowered, decreased. There's a good question here. So it comes from Alexandra. How often you feel we need to provide posts on LinkedIn? That's a great question. How often you feel we need to provide posts on LinkedIn? Executive recruiters and other decision makers are looking for you to be active. They're looking for you not to be dormant, but to be active. Now, when you're in career transition, you need to be far more active than when you are gainfully employed. But even when you're gainfully employed, you need to be active on LinkedIn. I would suggest, while you're gainfully employed, 1 or 2 posts a week, your own posts, or you're sharing, or you're commenting. And then if you are in career transition, you need to be far more proactive, far more aggressive. So I would suggest that you would have you need to be share and post and comment at least once a day. Hopefully that answers your question. So how often you feel we need to provide posts on LinkedIn? The next one is from Peter Faz. Many experts do it daily, from polls, memes, articles, live. Yeah, you're right. The LinkedIn is building its platform as we speak. It started off very small, very shallow. You couldn't do too much. Now you can do a ton on LinkedIn. So go to YouTube. I will probably do another couple of seminars like this on LinkedIn, and I will talk about what you can share. I mean, I could go on for hours and hours and hours what you can do on LinkedIn to market yourself as a leader, as an expert. Here we have another one. Let me just go to this one. Hi, Martin. Any advice on online interviews? How to present yourself as to compensate the lack of personal touch, body language? Now, that is a long question. So let me reiterate that again. It comes from Sebastian. Hi, Martin. Any advice on online interviews? How to present yourself as to compensate the lack of personal touch, body language, etc. Yeah, we all like the personal touch. We like to be in a room with somebody because we can feel the vibes. We probably get excited. You don't get that with Zoom, Teams, WebEx, and any other online platform. So I would suggest, well, you need to have a suitable attire, but you also need to articulate. Use your hands, but don't whine all over the place. Try never to go above your shoulders, and try and be active. Show your passion, show your excitement for the job you are interviewing for. Because you're at the other end of a line, a telephone line, fiber line, or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean you can't articulate and you can show your passion. I hopefully am showing my passion, my commitment to helping people manage and advance their careers right now online. So be very open. Don't just sit back and think, oh, it's going to be that. You need to be very, very proactive. You need to express the excitement. And of course, those of you who've listened to me before, an interview is a two-way street, both ways. Not a one-way street from the interviewer to you. You need to be prepared for questions. And just because we're on Zoom and any other platform doesn't mean to say you can't have that interaction. Hopefully that answers your question, Sebastian. So let's get back to the topic. Please have some more questions. I love answering questions. So it's a platform to demonstrate your knowledge, your leadership, your credibility, and increase your visibility. For free, you can get in front of 750 plus million people. However, if you really are serious in your career, you need to make an investment. And I would actually subscribe to the LinkedIn Premium. It's a little sum of money, but you get extra bells and whistles, even when you're gainfully employed. It's one of those investments that if you are serious about your career, you need to make. So it's a platform to demonstrate your knowledge, your leadership, and your credibility. It's a platform to research. So if you're going to work for ABC company, you can do a lot of research on LinkedIn. Follow that company. Find out who are the senior executives in that company. If you are going to interview for a job at that particular company, I would suggest that you start to network with people off the hiring line, not in the recruitment line, but off the hiring line, and start to network with them. Start to ask them questions. Find out about their corporate culture. Those of you listened to me before, corporate culture is very, very important. So it's a platform to research. There is a plethora of information. It's also a chance for you to follow people and, as I say, companies. It has a job board, a very robust job board, but don't think all the jobs are on LinkedIn or are online. Those who have been following me, only a slim minority of jobs, doesn't matter where you are in the world, except for certain countries in the Far East, are advertised. You need to network, and it allows you, it's part of the networking opportunity, opens up new opportunities by being proactive, very, very aggressive on LinkedIn. If you are in career transition, you need to be on LinkedIn a minimum of 6 hours, I would say 8 hours a day. Great comments, great questions coming in. So, well, a question from Lauren. Thanks, Lauren, for coming in today. Do you think the CEOs, etc., are hanging out on LinkedIn? Should we be networking with people who might be in the department we want to work in? Or should we target those higher up the ladder? That's a great question, Lauren. Thanks for asking. So I would actually, depending on where you are, where you're aiming for, I would actually start to network with the people who will be your boss or your boss's boss. But you also need to network with the people who are in the actual recruitment line, the hiring line. So it may be an HR professional from partner all the way up to a chief human resources officer. But you need to start also networking within that department to find out the corporate culture. Corporate culture is so important. Are you a fit? That corporate culture for this company that you are applying for might be totally different. It might be not according to your ethics or whatever. You can do a lot of research. So network off the hiring line with other people who can share their information on a company to you. Also network with people who've recently left that company within the last 6 months. Now, the ability on LinkedIn is amazing. If you were to leave, if you've left ABC company in January, you will still be on that company name. So what you do, you type in the name of the company and then you scroll through and you find that I or you left in January, and you can ask that person, well, tell me a little bit more about the company. What was it like to work there? What was the culture? What did you talk about around the fountain? Well, you can remember what the fountain was like many, many moons ago. But what did you talk about? What is the culture? Is it a happy environment? Is it an aggressive environment? Is it a performance-driven environment? So then you've got some ammunition also for the interview. So those people who've retired or who've left the company and gone on to greater things, hopefully, they have no allegiance to that company. They can tell you all the dirt. All the dirt. They can spill the beans for you for 20 minutes. So this is a chance to do your research. LinkedIn is an amazing tool. Don't miss out on LinkedIn. So it has its job board, but as I say, don't rely on all the jobs. Here in Canada, where I am, only 1%, just a little over 1% of all the jobs that are available right this minute are on LinkedIn. People think it's 99%. They're in a different planet. So 1%. So keep those questions coming. There's some really good questions. So recommendations. You need to have recommendations. When people are looking for talent, and they build a talent pool, especially executive recruiters, they build a talent pool of 30 or 40 or 50 people. Then they scale that back. They're looking for red flags. If you don't have recommendations, instantly that is a red flag. You don't want to give any. You don't want to raise any red flags. You want the green flag to go to sail in through that recruitment process, get the interview, I'll get the interviews, probably 2 or 3, and win the way and get that job offer in your hand. So always have recommendations. Now, those of you listened to me before, I am a great believer in you having 5 recommendations per job. Yes, 5 recommendations per job. Who should they be? If possible, have your boss or your boss's boss or a retired boss. Sometimes it's not difficult. Then sometimes it's difficult. Then you need to have a peer, somebody lateral to you, an employee, a supplier slash vendor, and a client slash customer. The more recommendations you can get, the better it's going to be. You don't want to be counted out of an opportunity just simply because you don't have recommendations. Yeah, it's not the top of everybody's list to give you recommendations, but see if you can push them and offer to give one yourself to them if you feel comfortable with that. So recommendations are very, very important. And please go to my YouTube channel and press the subscribe button where you will see many, many other videos breaking down LinkedIn section by section by section. So it also gives you a chance to market your expertise, bearing in mind that each one of you watching today, every one of you watching today is an expert, but you are also a product. The resume, the CV, and your LinkedIn profile is the package. You are inside that, and you have to sell yourself. Get into the mode of selling. And this is where LinkedIn can sell you to your optimum. As I said before, the more text you put in, and it's all character sensitive, each space, each section has its own number of characters, and there is a video on the number of characters on my YouTube channel that you can have in each section. You need to fill that right out to the maximum. You need to sell yourself. So market your expertise. Please don't be dormant on LinkedIn. Even when you're gainfully employed and you're having a great time, you're enjoying your job, we are in a transitionary society, and I suspect the next year or so, when we go back to work in the office or do a hybrid version or stay at home, there's going to be a lot of transition. A lot of people are going to be said goodbye to. So you need to manage your career. So if you are posting on LinkedIn when you're gainfully employed, sharing, commenting, whatever, you need to do that right now, because that's going to bring you huge value. The more you are active on LinkedIn, even create a video. I mean, we got our cell phones now. You can just create a video and talk about yourself. What's happening in the market? What's happening in your business? Therefore, that video will get credibility on LinkedIn and on Google. So use LinkedIn. If you don't, sorry, you're gone. You are lost that competition. You won't win the way, because bearing in mind that it's always a competition. A job search, career management is talking about sharpening your competitive edge. Why should I buy you over everybody else? What is your compelling reason that if I was in a hiring position, choose you, the viewer, over everybody else? So use LinkedIn. You need to manage your career right now. Those who manage their careers advance faster, are far more happier, and generally they earn more money. So if you earn more money, you can retire earlier. So it's pretty simple. I break it down into the basics. Manage your career. So that brings me round to another topic. I'm going to introduce a new podcast, new video cast, bi-weekly, called the Career Coaches Rant. You think I'm excited right now. You wait and see these rants, because I am going to put you on the edge and going to get you really excited to do various things to do with career management. So if you enjoyed it, please come back next week. And the topic next week is references available upon request. So we're going to be talking about references. This is a very, very important. You get to the end and then references can make or break you. But references available upon request on your CV, on your resume, let's talk about it next week. Join me, 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And those who enjoyed it, please go to my YouTube channel and press the subscribe button and the bell button where you will be notified of future videos. Anybody want a free, no obligation resume critique or a free LinkedIn audit? I will go through both top to bottom with you and say it as it is, because you only get one kick of the can. Anybody got any other questions? If not, then I'm going to wrap it up for this week. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad to return here after a couple of weeks hiatus. And I will be back here next week, Tuesdays at 2, when we're going to be talking about references available upon request. So hopefully you've got some information. I got you excited. I got you gripped. Hopefully you got some information this week you're going to put into action in the next few days. LinkedIn brings you huge value. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week, Tuesdays at 2.